July 20th, 2026. Dear nervous me. Do you ever feel over anxious about everything? You worry and you worry, but it seems in vain. It's like you expect everything to go wrong, and yet that's not the situation that you're in. Today has been a roller coaster of feelings. This morning, I woke up and my boyfriend called me and I'm having a conversation with him, and that's a great start to my day, but I don't want to get out of bed because, as I told him, I don't want to adult today. And as I say that I don't want to adult today, I understand that I have to anyways. And as I'm sitting here now, I feel like it was almost foreboding as to why I didn't want to adult today. But I get up, I get dressed, I take care of the dogs, I do the things that I'm supposed to do. And then I sit down to do work. And I'm really excited. I feel like I'm putting together great packages. I have so much coming for you guys, and I'm just really excited about what I'm doing. I have set up my website. The packages make sense. What I'm offering, what I know that I can do, what I know that I can help with. And it's just a great feeling. And then I have the business call. And for the last year, I've had a business coach. I signed up last year and I hit the ground running, and it goes back to what we talked about yesterday, where when I'm in it, I am in it. I did the work. I showed up. I watched the videos. I made the business plan. I got the business plan back. And then my heart sunk. What I had written and what had come back to me felt drastically different to me. And in true Jamisha fashion, instead of having that conversation and working around it, I just stopped. In my tracks, just stopped. Because for me, I couldn't figure out how to make anything work around what I wanted. And if it wasn't going to match up to what they suggested, it obviously wasn't going to work. So then, what do I do? It can't be perfect. It can't be done, right? And so, every once in a while, I pop back in and I change my mind. And I would say, hey, I'm going to pivot what I wanted to do and try this. And then I'd do that for a little while. And that didn't feel like me. And then I'd leave again. And then I'd get another wild hair up my ass and say, hey, I'm back. I pivoted again. But this time, I think that I know what I'm doing. And that lasts for a little while, and then I disappear. Last week, someone from the program reached out to me and wanted to know how I was doing. And I was so excited to have that conversation because for me, my mindset has been in a drastically different place than it was previously. I feel like I know what I'm supposed to do. Feel like I'm entering to my calling. This is me. And so last week we came up with a plan for the things I need to do. 5 steps of things. Fix my website, set up my plans. My last thing on my list of 5 was just to breathe. Because again, I know that when I get caught up in this whirlwind, everything just goes fast. And so I do a majority of the things on my list. Really proud of myself. Well, today I had another meeting, but this time with the founder of the society that I was a part of. Great society, by the way. Super shout out to Embodied Society. Great people to work with. Great for launching your business. Kudos to her for doing her thing. But during this meeting, I was trying to explain to her where I pivoted to now. And I don't know, maybe I didn't explain it correctly. Maybe it didn't make sense. Or maybe she was right and it just doesn't work the way that it works in my head. But I'm talking to her about it, and I'm talking about the people that I want to help. And typically speaking, in my field, you help a certain niche of people. Teens, moms, divorced families. Like, it's super, super specific. And I get that. I know that. That's not who I am. I don't want to help one particular person. I want to heal the world. I recognize I can't do that. Still my want anyways. And so I'm telling the founder that, like, well, that's my goal. I don't have one age group I want to work with. I think mental health is an issue for anybody and everybody. I think that for people to decide that you could only help one set of age with mental health but not the other doesn't make sense to me. Because if your program works, it should be scalable. It should be accessible to anybody. Because I'm of the belief that I can have the same type of conversation that is mentally and age appropriately for anyone that I'm talking to. By that I mean, when I have to talk to a child about where babies come from, I don't tell a 5-year-old, well, your mommy and daddy had sex. Your mommy and mommy had sex and then gave their egg to somebody else. Like, that's not an explanation you give them. What you tell your 5-year-old typically is that two people really loved each other, which is why we are careful with the word we say love. And they loved each other so much they wanted to create this new life. And with their love, they created that life. Hugging and kissing is something really special between people that you love. 5-year-old explanation. Would I have that same conversation with my teen? No. I'm not sitting there saying, hey, bro, you lay down and you get fucked. Not saying that, because that's not appropriate, even for that age group. Despite that might be the language that they use, that's not the conversation you have. Hey, I'm hearing that you're telling me that you're ready. Are you ready in the sense that you're ready for all the consequences that come with it? If you were to have sex, if someone were to get pregnant, what is your plan of action? Do you hope that mom and dad have your back? Do you and partner know what you're going to do? What have you thought through? Because that's an appropriate conversation for someone of that age. And so, for me, I feel like it's necessary to be able to be there for as many people as I can, instead of shutting the doors because, well, they're not going to understand it this way. Well, no, but you teach them in a way that they do understand. I work with children on the spectrum. Love my job. I work with each one of those children differently. They all have different understanding of what's going on. My child who's nonverbal is going to be different than my child who is still the same age and that can talk. They're just going to understand things differently. Are they still both going to be able to tell me what they want? Yes, I'm going to teach them. I'm going to teach my verbal 5-year-old to tell me he wants milk. He wants cookies. He wants a snack. I'm going to teach my nonverbal child to use an AAC device, to use sign language, to lead me to the item. Both are going to learn the same lesson that works for them in their situation. How to communicate what they need. It seems rather simple. And so I'm trying to explain this. And the idea is, are you fixing a problem? Are you fixing a problem? And at first I thought the problem was lack of communication. And it was, no, that's not the issue. That's the solution. Okay, well, yes, communicating obviously solves a lot of problems. And you and I have had these talks before. It's not so much just communicating with others, while obviously that's important. It's being able to have that communication with yourself. It is frowned upon to talk to yourself. And yet, how else would you get to know yourself? How else do you get to know what your thoughts are, what your feelings are, other than to have a conversation with yourself? And that doesn't mean stand in a corner and just keep talking into the corner. It is reading, it's writing, it's journaling, it's creativity, it's going out and doing the things that you think that you enjoy. It's trying something new. It's learning something new. It's learning, that gave me the ick. Nope, that was a yum. Communication. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking and I'm hearing her words and I take in what she's saying, but in the back of my head, what I'm hearing is, this is not going to be good enough. This is not going to work. Why are you doing this? What are you doing this for? And so, at some point in time, she actually asked me that question, like, what would it mean to you if in the next 3 months, you signed on a client? What does that look like? And I kind of knew what the answer was supposed to be, because the idea should be that I'm trying to make money, right? That's not who I am. My thought process is, if I sign on a client in the next 3 months, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, helping someone. Since I was a little girl, I wanted to be a teacher. This is my avenue to teach people how to process their feelings and work in communication with themselves and their partners and their children. So for me, it's about teaching. It's about helping someone find a voice that they feel like they've never had or they feel like they've lost. And again, I'm trying to explain that in the best way that I know how, because typically speaking, I'm really good with my words. I mean, I sit here and talk to you guys every night, so my words can't be that broken. But she's not understanding. And it's well, you need to figure out what audience you are talking to so you can market to them. And it's not that I don't understand that concept. I just don't market on people's pain. I market on their hope. I market on the things they want to do better. Yes, if you are a mom out there who's struggling to be seen, I'd love to talk to you. Yes, if you're a teen who feels like the best you can do is hide out in your room away from your family because they do not understand you, I'm here for you. If you're that man who goes out to work every morning, comes back home and takes care of his family, but is just drowning under the weight of his own emotions, I'm here for you. If you hide these big pieces inside of you because you're afraid of how people will react if they saw it, I'm here for you. But more importantly, I'm here to be your friend, your bestie. I want to be able to sit here and you talk, and there's no judgment, and there's no complications. It's just this is what's happening. This is where I'm at. This is where I want to be. What do I do? Bestie, I got you. Let me help. That's my thought process. But that's not what I'm hearing her say. I'm hearing her say that that's not going to work. That I'm going to have to redesign and redefine my message. And that in order for me to do what I want to do, I would need to re-enroll into a program with her. And so she tells me what the plans, and we talk about it, and I talk about which one I think would be best for me. And I say, okay, thank you. And we get off the call, and she's really excited, and she sends me a message about getting my email to send me the invoice. And again, I just feel heavy. I feel sad and disappointed, and not in anything that she did, but in myself, because again, I thought I had something great. I thought I had something worth talking about, worth doing, that would help. I thought I was on the right track, but maybe I was wrong. Maybe I don't know what I'm doing. And then it's just the questions. All the questions. Because if it's one thing that I know how to do, it's question everything that I'm doing. And so, that's what I begin to do. And as I'm looking at the stuff on my desk, because prior to the meeting, I was printing out plans, and I had roadmaps of things and how I'd want to discuss feelings and how I want to talk about working through your feelings. I was just in the game. Material galore. And then I stopped. I get off the call and I just stop. And all I want to do is go to bed. I want to lay on my couch and veg out. Because what do I do when everything's too much? I just give up. She asked me on the call, well, you have a tendency to start real strong and then just stop. And I don't want to be mean, but, I need to address that. No, I'm aware. I'm very aware that I do that. I've put things in place so that I don't do that. Oh, well, what have you put into place? I have a podcast. I recognize that I do better when I am forward-facing. If I'm going to be forward-facing, if I'm going to make a commitment to show up here every night, here I am. Because I'll be damned if I don't keep my word to you guys. I say, hey, I'm going to make this free journal. I'm going to put it on my website. And although I didn't get it in that night because I couldn't get it to work, today, you go to my website. It is right there. Because I said that I'd do it. I am a mess about letting people down. So that's my motivation. Hey, you're telling people that you're doing these things. These people can see you. Keep your word. Okay. That's not a bad plan, she says. And again, I don't know where to go with that. I don't know how I'm supposed to move, or if I'm supposed to throw it all away, if I'm supposed to just start over like it's being suggested. I have my business plan. I'm being told that my business plan may need a redesign, or I may need to redo it and resubmit it for it to be looked at to be redone. Well, I thought I had done a good job. I thought, hey, this is fitting for what I want to do. This is fitting for what I want to approach and attack. This is what I want to help with. This is the mindset I know that I have. And I cannot be the only person who struggles with these things. Today I almost gave up on me. I almost talked myself out of doing what I wanted to do. Something that I love. But I didn't. I had my moment where I had my own little pity party about what I thought I heard. And then I said, well, I'm gonna keep working. I will keep working on the packages. I will keep working on the services I want to give. And if I don't like it, if by the time I finish this package, I think it's a dumb idea, I just will give up. I just won't do it. Okay, that sounds fair. That sounds like a goal. I'm all about setting goals and trying to get there. And so I sat down and I got to work. Oh, this would be great. And this would be great. And if I do it this way, I can see where all the wins would come from. I can see how having a conversation with this person about this could be life-changing. Oh, I'm so excited to share it with you all. But I almost let someone talk me out of it because, well, I was nervous about how people would react. What people would think about it. What if you guys don't like it? Well, then maybe it's just not for you. It's okay for you not to like things that are not for you. And then I have a friend who is making big changes in their life. And they were nervous to tell me about it. And then I felt bad when I did talk to her about it. Because it was well, why? Well, I was embarrassed. But what do I do to make you feel like you can't just come tell me? No, it's not you. But my first thought is, I want to be the friend that she needs to say, hey, you may not agree with this decision, but this is what I'm doing. And when she told me, I didn't get angry. I didn't get mad. I didn't yell. I didn't push. I said, hey, I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing for you. because that's not my place. I don't need to decide what your life is supposed to look like. Not to mention, life is hard enough with everything going on. Having to live your life through other people's eyes and other people's opinions, absolutely not acceptable. Can't do it, overwhelmed by it, not for me. And even as we had that conversation, it was, I don't want to say the wrong thing. Well, it's okay. Either way, I'm going to do what I want. Yeah, I wasn't talking about changing your mind. It was never my goal to change your mind. Oh, well, I'm overthinking things. I know, which is why I didn't want to say the wrong thing. I know you. We are friends for a reason. I know you. I know what you're going to do. I know why you're going to do it. And either I'm going to be a friend and I'm going to stand by you and hold your hand, or I'm not. You get to decide what you're going to do, and I get to decide what I'm going to do. That's how that works. But man, being nervous to make the decision for your own life, that's ridiculous. And yet, she and I were both there today, where we are letting nerves dictate what we shouldn't and should do based off of what somebody else is going to say. So how many times have you ever felt like that? How many times have you been like, oh my gosh, this is great. I know what I'm doing. I'm all in it. Oh, but so-and-so thinks it's going to fail. So therefore, that's not going to work. Fuck them. Absolutely fuck them. You deserve to have the life that you want because you make that decision. Nobody else can live your life for you. They don't walk a day in your shoes. Fuck them. So today, I chose me. I chose, you know what? People are going to either like it or they're going to hate it, and I don't have much control over that aspect, but I know that I have something great. I know I have something worth pursuing. I know I have a gift to share, and I'm going to share it. And those who want to experience that are going to be the people that I work with. And if not, they're just not for me. I don't need to have everybody. I don't need to sell you on, oh my gosh, are you downtrodden? Oh my gosh, are you feel... You know how you feel. You know where you are. I'm saying, do you want to be somewhere better? And if so, can I help you? I need you to take away from this journal that things in life are going to make you nervous. People are going to tell you that you shouldn't do it because they don't think that it's right for you. Sometimes you have to make decisions for yourself. And clearly I'm not talking about anything that's harmful to you. That's where your friend should step in. But if it's, going after a job, moving across the country, taking a chance on relationships that your friends don't understand. Do it for you. Do it for you. Because you never know who that's going to help. For me, it helps the little girl inside me. She felt like she couldn't speak up. She felt invisible. I'll be damned if I let somebody else feel that way. I'll be damned. So, my bite of pie today, I said, fuck them. I'm going to continue with my plan. I'm going to continue with my packages. I'm going to list them on my website and be proud. I'm going to talk about my business. I'm going to market my business in the way that I know how. And it's not to sell you on how sad and depressed your life is. It's about, hey, we could all be better than where we are. We all deserve to be better than where we are. If it's just, hey, you needed some advice, great, I can give you that. If you need more than that, let's talk about it. Let's see if we can work together. Sometimes we do the hard things, even when nobody's watching, or even when they're cheering against us. And I do mean that they cheer against us. They root for our failure. Do it anyways. So just remember, today is another page in the story. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be written. And before you close your journal tonight, ask yourself, what was your bite of pie today? Until tomorrow, love you loud.